My friend Celia asked me if I would do a piece on how to make tamales. And I want you to know that they're actually not that hard to do if you take out a couple of steps and leave that work to somebody else. Namely, making of the masa. All we're going to do is we're going to cook the meat and the sauce. And we're going to buy the masa already made, and that's okay to do because there's a lot of places out there that make tamale masa ready to use, and it's fine, it's good. I know that your purist grandmother is probably screaming right now, but the fact is it's really easy, and the masa quality that you can get out there is just fine. So here we're going to start with about 3.5 pounds of boneless pork leg. You use whatever. If there's a little bit of fat in there, that's fine. A tamale is high in fat. Even there's fat in the masa too, and I know that if you're concerned about that, you know, it's not that big of a deal. There's a lot of fat in burger, fries, and a shake, but you're not living on them either. So it's okay to have tamales once in a while made with all its fat. So here we go. We're just going to put this cubed up meat into a pot and just enough water to cover. And then most of the time when you're cooking Mexican food, cooking something that you're boiling, they usually put a piece of onion and some garlic. Okay, so we'll pop that in there, and then we're going to throw in a little bit of salt, and we're going to start that thing off. Okay. The second part of this is the sauce. Now the sauce, there's a lot of variations. There's green, there's red, there's mole. A lot of different ways to do it. But what I've got right here is real simple, and these are available ingredients, and you can kind of vary this to suit yourself. But what I've got here is some dried New Mexico chilies. I've got 4 of them, and so I just try to, you can just try to break the top off and get some of the seeds out. It's not that big of a deal because you're going to strain it afterwards. So here, just do what you can. And then now these chilies, so there were 4 of the New Mexicos. I've got like 5 here of chili guajillo. The long, smooth ones. Some places call them pasilla, some call them guajillo. It's one or the other. It's the long, thin one. It's not the short, wrinkly one that looks like a prune. Okay. And these are a little bit spicy. The New Mexico ones are not spicy. And then we're going to make it spicy by putting in some chili japonés, which is, kind of like a chile de agua. And then we're just going to add a little bit of water to that. And just the same deal. But we're not going to put any salt or anything in it. It's just the chilies. And let those boil for about, maybe 15-20 minutes. And then it'll get pureed and then strained, and then it'll go in with the meat. The meat's going to take, it depends on the toughness, it could take an hour or more. You just have to play that by eye. When it starts to fall apart, that's what you want. That's easy to guess. If it's falling apart, it's done. You don't have to get it to a medium rare or anything. That's the beauty of making tamales. Okay, now after the chilies have cooked for a little while, we're going to take them with their liquid and put it into a blender and puree it all up and add it to the pork. Okay, so as you can see here, I've got a little sieve, and I'm going to pour it through the sieve. It's important to get the seeds out because sometimes they can be bitter. from there, you just scrape it and push it, get everything through that will go through. And then the rest gets thrown away. Okay. And then you just let it keep cooking and let that sauce get into the meat. Like I said before, it all falls apart. Okay, so now that the meat's all cooked and nice and falling apart, you get it all out of the broth and set it here in a bowl so it'll cool. But, and here's something that some people don't realize, that there's still that juice that the pork was cooking in. And that's really good stuff. So instead of just discarding it, it's not very much, but we're going to do something a little different that maybe, you know, Abuelita says no to, but you know what? It comes out really good, because I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I get a tamale and the masa is just plain, it doesn't have any flavor at all, so we're going to do something about that. Now we're going to take a little bit of the masa, and by the way, I've got 5 pounds here. And we're going to use some of it as a roux and add it back to the juice. It's like making polenta or hot water cornbread. It basically works the same way. You've got a boiling liquid, you add some of this to it and whisk it until it gets thick. And then once that cools down, we'll mix it into this so that the masa will have some flavor. There you go. You just add it till it's nice and thick. You can see it's real thick. So we'll turn that off and let that cool. We'll let this cool so we can break it apart a little more. So then we'll mix this in with this, and then we'll go to the next step.